My important role. Hi, I'm Ryan Steens. If you don't know me, I am the Assistant Director at Texas Digital Library, and today we begin our new round of sprints on the Vireo 4 development. Slight change to what is currently going on with Vireo development. We will be doing 3-week sprints for the foreseeable future. So the team can get a little more development done in between demos and have a little bit more time doing some coding and a little less time doing demos. So I think this will be great for the velocity on this project, and we're looking forward to seeing what the team's been up to recently. So, Stephanie?
I'm ready when you guys are. Thank you. So go ahead, James or Jeremy. Appreciate it.
Awesome. This is Jeremy Hoff, and I will be conducting this demo of Sprint 17, Moments on Vireo. I'm going to start off with this card VIR 144. We have some subtasks broken out underneath it, but the main feature set is this further filter by sidebar module. In the course of demoing the sidebar module, I'm also going to be demoing VIR 146, which is the advanced options sidebar module, and also VIR 349, which is specifically the search box filter. Okay, so I'm going to start off by demoing this assign to filter. One of the things that was indicated as desirable for this feature was the ability to align the potential results in any of these lists that go on too long with a more or less, which should look familiar from Vireo 3. It's possible in configuring the app to change like how many are listed out, before it puts them more. I have it set to just a few, just so that we can demo it without having a lot of content. But in demoing assigned to, you see we have this column assigned to here, which is completely blank. And so in order to demo this, I'm going to demonstrate how we can use batch assign to in order to assign some of these values. So let me see if I can get some of our, just a little batch. I'll do some patent hold. So now I have two submissions here, and I'm going to batch assign them to one of our users here. So I'm going to give William some work and assign William these two submissions here. So now if I get back to the full list, you can see that we have two submissions that have been assigned to William. And so if I go over here and I want to see all submissions assigned to William, I can just click on that. You can see, and now filtering, we now have assigned to William Welling, and we have those two submissions right there. Kind of the inverse of that, if I were to see what Jeremy's been up to, I can see that, as usual, it's not much. And there you go. So that is assigned to. I'm going to try to move through these fairly quickly because there's a lot of them. But I'm going to demonstrate filtering on organization. Previously in Vireo 3, you were able to filter on things such as college and degree and department and these different kind of organizational concepts. In Vireo 4, we've housed all of those under the concept of organization, and they are a college or a degree or a department based on the category of that organization. So instead of adding a separate filter for each of those, we have just this one organization filter. You'll see if I pull up customized filters, that organization filter is in the displayed filters list right there. And so the nature of this organization filter is to allow you to filter by each one of these categories, and divides up all the organizations in the application by these categories. So you can see in this instance of Vireo, we have one college, college 1, then one department, department 1, and 10 degrees. And so if I want to see all submissions on degree 5, I can just click on that. We have degree 5 up here now filtered by, and it is showing us the one submission to degree 5 right there. So, all right. Collapse these. This is something else that's a little bit different in Vireo 4 to Vireo 3. Previously in Vireo 3, dates had several different solutions for how to filter on a date. And it's possible for us to expand on the different ways in which dates can be filtered on, but for now we wanted one solution that could satisfy all the different potential date filters in the application, and we settled on this UI. One thing that's kind of nice that Vireo 3 didn't have in this filter context is a date picker. It also is one filter that can simultaneously either filter on a date match or a date range, and it does that by this little plus button right here. If you input 2 dates, you'll get a range, and if you just do the 1 date, you will get a date match. And so I'm going to take a look. We'll target this algorithm submission, which was done on May 1st. So if I use this date picker and hop over to 27, May 1st. Yes, I believe so. Yeah. And then I add that. You can see that I'm now filtering by 05, 01, 2017, and I did see now algorithm submission. Similarly, if I want to see all the submissions in with a degree date of 2016, I can hop back to January 1st of 2016. I can add an additional date to that, and I can hop forward to December 31st, and I can add that filter. And now you can see that I'm filtering from January 1st to December 31st, and I'm getting all of the 2016 submissions. All of them happen to be here on December 20th. And that's just on this call degree date, but if you look at this customized filter, there are different date fields, and they would be handled with the same widget currently. And like I said, future feature requests could expand on the way various dates were filtered on, but for now, this widget is what's going to appear for any of those date filters. Document type, this is a dynamic list that shows you all of the various document types that have been added to the application, divided up by their degree level. So if I wanted to see all the dissertations in the application, I can do that. These are the doctoral dissertations. And there are 2 of those. We can see, I'm trying to remember what other, did we do a capstone project? Yeah, we have one of those by Edward E. Noom. Okay, so that is document type. Collapse those. UMI publications, we haven't inputted the data for that, for any of these, but that is coming through similarly to Vireo 4 statuses. In fact, actually, let's do this. I'm going to update the status of all of our dissertations to further illustrate the advanced features module. So I'm going to grab these dissertations, and I'm going to update their status, changing it from in progress to needs corrections. And you come up here and you can see the status of these 2 is needs correction. Now I can get the full list. Some of them are in progress, some of them are needs corrections. Now I'm going to go down to our status filter. I'm going to add a filter for in progress. You can see that I have a reduced set. I'm now showing 8 matches, so it's missing those 2 that I changed. And likewise, if I were to filter by needs correction, here, you see now filtering by needs corrections, and I see the 2 with the status of needs corrections. Okay, embargo type. This should look very familiar to people who were used to seeing this in Vireo 3. We have our inactive filters. We have our list of embargo types here. And I want to see all of our journal holds. You can see that I was able to filter out the 3 journal holds. And what are some of the other ones that we have in here? Patent holds. You look at those. There's a couple of those. Okay. So the only other thing that I wanted to show is a kind of multi-purpose filter, and that's this search box filter, which was VIR 349. So I'm going to add that to our filters, and you can see how the list changes on receiving that search box filter right there. And I'm going to demonstrate how this works. This will match on multiple columns. So just to demonstrate this, you can see how I characters C and A in the last name of Cash, and also C and A and the column in the capstone project and the document type. So if I search for CA, I should see row 5, submission ID 5, for a match on that capstone project, as well as submission with the ID 3 to match on the last name of Cash. So if I do that, it reduces the list to those two. So that search box, and this is how it functioned in Vireo 3 too, I believe. So it matches on both of those. So it's kind of a wild card search. But I think that does it for VIR 144, VIR 146, and VIR 349. The search box features the advanced options and the filtering of the various columns of the application. Are there any questions on that?
I don't think so. Man, you guys have done a lot of work. So everything seems to work just perfectly. So yeah, you guys did a great job.
All right. So if it's cool with you, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We might have some. I mean, is there more to demo?
Yes, there is. There's a lot more.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We do have a question here. Is degree date in addition to graduation semester? I think that you mentioned that the date search goes across all of the different, any sort of date. Is that correct? It's just the one that you have displayed.
Yeah, I was only filtering on the column of
degree date. Sorry.
But if the same UI mechanism is used, if I were to add an additional filter for one of these other dates, then you could accomplish that by doing the range. As I said, that might be insufficient for specifically like for something like graduation semester, which is several months, designates a date range of several months. You could achieve that using a date range, but we might want to have some future feature cards to bring in some new filters to address spring to that, like the natural language way that those dates were represented. Currently, we don't have that. You can filter on that column, but you have to use this date range mechanism to do it.
And due to the fact that the workflow is customizable, people are free to add any number of different types of dates to the submissions. And so we were called upon to come up with a one-size-fits-all solution that would just handle any arbitrary date that people would want to customize their submissions with.
Mm-hmm.
But we can also do one-off solutions for specific types of dates. There's a feature requirement there.
Okay, I just want to also clarify. So in Vireo 3, you can put kind of a note just so the student sees that we are now accepting submissions for whatever. There's a spot where you put the semester and a spot where you put the year, where they're all one field. And that was something that we were able to filter on, but that is no longer there. Or if there is a place where we can input that information, we need to understand that it's not actually a filter, it's just kind of a label. So we do need to decide kind of how we want to treat semesters.
Yeah, I don't want to get introduce too many confusing ideas, but we do have in our settings in the application currently graduation month. This is what we got right here, in which you can add these graduation months to the application. And it should be possible for us in Vireo 4 to have those options as a field profile during your submission. So the student is able to select that information. And once it is a field profile, there should automatically be a filter over here in this list for that field profile. Graduation semester, for instance, we could pull that over, and and we would see the generic filter for field profile on that, and it would be filterable by that mechanism.
Okay. So, and actually, let me clarify here. So we were talking about graduation semesters, but actually, I don't think that we've ever had fall or spring or something like that. But what we mean by graduation semester is that, is this a December graduate? Is this a May graduate? Is this a summer graduate or something like that? So Jill and Renee, is it that we still need those months, and those months is what you use by semester, or are you expecting to see, I don't think that we have more than that right now. So Renee says yes. So yeah, so that graduation month, I think, should be great. Yep.
Okay.
Third. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Jim. Okay.
It could be that that, like I said, some future features for how those are filtered on might want to be introduced. But currently, yeah, the capability of filtering on that information should definitely be available in this application.
Okay.
Let's see, what are we looking at next? Let's take a look at the ability to toggle whether or not the application arranges its organizations hierarchically or in a flat manner that was requested, and that can now be toggled in this organization settings. Currently, hierarchical organization management is off, and I will demonstrate what that looks like. Previously to this feature being added, if I were to have selected College 1 and then added a new organization called Admin Group 1, I'll make that an administrative group. Previously, if I were to add this, click on Create, it would have created Admin Group 1 as a child of College 1, and it would have appeared in a subsequent pane. Because that option is off, when I add this, it will add it as a sibling to College 1 instead. So I can show that. So there you go. Even though I had College 1 selected, Admin Group 1 is now a sibling of College Group 1. And if I come back here to organizational settings and I turn on the hierarchical management and come back here, and I come to College 1 and I create a new organization called Child 1, and you can keep it as an administrative group, that's fine, and I add this, you can see that it was created as a child because that option was turned on. So that, I believe, should cover what we set out to do with that option.
Yeah, that sounds correct. I just wanted to clarify for some of the new folks that might be listening. That's kind of for the advanced users and the folks who want to really take advantage of the customized workflows and have something maybe totally different that you can't do in Vireo right now. There's many different ways that you can alter workflows, and in order to do that, you kind of have to turn that particular feature on. Looks great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Allow field profiles to be disabled using the enable flag. So I think we can demonstrate this using our new organization. So I'm going to come over here to Child 1. I'm going to manage workflows. I'm going to open up verify personal information. I'm going to go over here to middle name. And the Child 1 organization has decided that they feel like middle name is unnecessary. So I'm going to say, yes, this is disabled. And in demoing this, I'm also going to draw our attention to VIR 331, which was the addition of a new submission button to the submission management view. So I can go over here to manage my current submissions. You can see I've been busy. I have all 10 of these submissions, but I still want to create a new one. So here's that button that was requested with VIR 331, the new submission button, which was not previously there. If I click on this, I get this warning, and they're letting me know that I already have submissions, but I do want to create a new one. I can come over here to the Child 1 organization, which is disabled middle name. If I start a submission here, you can see they go straight from first name to last name, and that field has in fact been disabled. Are there any questions about that?
Let me think. Okay. Could you go back to that screen where you disabled it?
Yes, I can. That was over here in the settings, and that was under organization and workflow. And then down in the bottom half of this page, there,
On child work?
yeah, I was on child organization. On the bottom half of this page, we have the manage workflow, and it lists out a workflow step. That particular field profile was the verified personal information, and you can see that here it is, and it has been toggled disabled.
Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. So it's right, disabled. It's not going to show on the student screen. And let's see. But if you didn't have it disabled, you also have the choice of whether it is required field or whether it's optional or not required. Whatever. It's a little asterisk thing. I think I saw that.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. So that's okay. That's great. That's
Awesome.
great.
Let's see, and also in addition to that, the VIR 331, the new submission button, was that also meeting your expectations?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a look at VIR 325. As a manager, I would like the advanced field profile options on a separate section of the editing middle, and we kind of saw that, but I'll just draw our attention to it. So over here, when we were editing middle name, this was a much busier interface previously. And so some of the things that you might not have to touch every time you were editing or creating these field profiles have been moved to this extra section under Advanced, where you are able to create and assign the metadata key that is associated with this field profile, change the input type, what that will appear as to the students in the submission view, also editing the help text, and whether or not child organizations are able to override this particular field profile. In addition to that, we also have control vocabulary here, the ability to attach a control vocabulary to a field profile is right here. So the seems to be the nature of that feature request was to have these sectioned off into these hidden sections on the field profile. It's also present here if I go to add field profile. I can do the label and I can do some of these top level settings, but more advanced features have been hidden away here. So,
That's really helpful. Oh yeah, that's what I think you guys came up with a really excellent solution. Yeah, much cleaner, much easier.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. As a manager, I want to delete organization. To show this, I'm going to attempt to delete Child 1 organization. I anticipate that not working because I have made a submission and edited its field profiles, which are things that just allow the deletion of an organization. So when that doesn't work, I'll create a new organization that's a sibling of Child 1, and we will delete that one. So I'm going to go over here to Manage Organization. It's right next to where we were at Manage Workflow. Under Manage Organization, we have this big red button, Delete Organization. When I click on this, it says, are you really sure you want to delete this? I definitely do, but it will not let me. Could not delete organization Child 1 of ID 34 due to having original workflow steps. I've been stymied. I'm going to come over here and create, because I'm just really in the mood to delete an organization. So I'm going to create Child 2. Make that, whatever, we'll make that a program. And we'll add Child 2 to administrative group. And now if I select Child 2, and I try to delete it, I get the same confirmation modal, and this one does allow me to delete it. So I think that covers it for the ability to delete organizations.
I got some questions on that one.
Okay, absolutely.
So, mostly of when it can't be deleted, that's because it has been used by a submission, or did that mean that it's currently, there's a submission in progress that's actually using that field?
So unfortunately, with the demonstration I just did, there were two reasons for why that organization could not be deleted. And it only reported on the first one that it encountered, which was that we disabled the middle name in the workflow stack. So when we did that, we put this organization in a state in which it was unable to be deleted. But similarly to that, the fact that we created a submission under that organization also would have disallowed the deletion of that organization.
Okay, I might have to let that one marinate for a little while. So,
All right.
but we can, if you accidentally, you know what, the way that I'm looking at this right now is that if we accidentally make an organization and decide, you know what, that's not going to work, you can get rid of it.
That absolutely is the case. There should be no reason why it would be put into a state where you couldn't delete it. And also, with just a little cleanup, you could always get an organization into a state where it was deleted. So even if it wasn't letting you delete it, it kind of tells you why. So you could kind of clean up the organization, get rid of its field profiles and stuff, and then you could delete it. So.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Delete organization. We demoed the search box filter, VIR 330. Let's see, we have VIR 319 as a manager. I need to sort, filter, and paginate submissions on all columns. This was one that was hanging out from the last sprint. If I come over here to our list view, one of the things that was noted last time was the ability to sort on multiple columns. We have removed that. So now it is only sorting on one column, and it is doing that across the board. So it's organizing dates as well, and across multiple pages. Do document type. If I come over here to page 2, you see that it maintains the sort through the second page. So does that meet your expectations? Okay.
Yes, yeah, looks great.
We demoed the advanced features sidebar module, both the ability to batch assign statuses, or batch assign the submissions and batch update statuses, and we have stubbed out the connectivity from that module to batch exporting, and batch commenting. Did that meet your expectations for VIR 146?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. VIR 322, editing the top-level Vireo institution through the UI. Okay, I can show this. That's going to be over here in the settings of the application, over here in organization workflow. And currently, this very nondescript name of institution is on the base level institution organization. I click on that, you can see that I am able, the management pane in the bottom half of the screen is pointing at the institution, the base level organization. So if I were to name that TAMU and save it, you can see that this now says TAMU. In addition to that, I would like to point out that if I were to come over here to the student view and start a new submission, this also has been updated to indicate whatever the base level organization is. So, so that shows that we can edit that. I guess more importantly, I will, the name was just an easy thing to show, but what more likely would be someone's desire for editing that base level institution is the fact that you can manage its workflow steps. And so by doing that, I can do something like change last name to surname, and then every child organization created on this first pane would have that change. So that way you can just decide as an institution, even at the flat hierarchical level, you can decide what all your new organizations are going to look like, and they'll all be created after that kind. So that's a huge convenience of being able to edit that organization.
Oh, very good then. Little bonus.
Yeah. And let's see, soon we demoed that. That's a start button, then start new submission button. And the last three are very developer-centric things, some programmatic testing of the code, and some bug fixes, which are going to be hard to demonstrate, but we assure you that they got fixed. So I think that concludes all of our demoable content for this sprint.
Wow. And I thought you did a lot just on the first chunk of it. So you guys have made an incredible amount of progress in the last few weeks. So thank you very much. Yep, I'd like to see if there's anyone else has any comments or questions. We do have Renee typing. Currently, our students cannot create a new submission for the same semester for the same degree. I don't know if that... I don't know how that works. I honestly don't. Do you guys have an answer to understanding of how that would work in terms of if you do allow multiple submissions?
Renee, I think that's...
Does that have any bearing at all?
I'm actually let me talk to Renee out of band on this, because I think I'm curious as to why they can't do it right now. So I'll get in touch with her.
Currently, the only limitations on multiple submissions are that a student cannot have two submissions in the same organization concurrently. That's the only limit. So if multiple submissions are enabled, based on the way Vireo 4 is working right now, and we might need to investigate how Vireo 3 is doing this a little more thoroughly. But currently, Vireo 4 allows you to create multiple submissions in different organizations if multiple submissions are enabled. And it will not allow you to create two submissions to the same organization at any time. So other than that, I'm not aware of any other restrictions on submission creation.
But if, so degrees are a type, or can be a type of organization. So if they were getting two different degrees, does that mean it would work?
It absolutely would work. They would be able to, start a submission, because each one of those degrees would be represented in Vireo 4 as an organization. And so they could select one degree, start a submission, and then just go right back to the view. And if multiple submissions were enabled, they could create an additional submission under that different degree.
Okay.
If that's not desired, or if it's desired to be able to disallow that, that would have to be an additional setting that currently does not exist.
Right.
And
I'm sure Renee is going to test this thoroughly whenever you have something that can be tested and stuff, so she can let us. Hopefully, Renee will let us know and stuff if it's it seems to work the way that she needs it to. So. Anything else from anyone? I don't think so. Thank you for everyone for attending. There was a lot to learn about today. Jeremy, I appreciate you going through so much. You had a lot of content today, and you guys are doing a really fantastic job. So I appreciate it. And
it's our pleasure.
So I guess our next, we plan, hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll have the next public demo in 3 weeks from today. So I hope to see everyone there. Thank you for attending. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free. You can always send me an email, call me. Doesn't matter. So you guys have a good day. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.